Hello, and welcome to another Scriptcase Macros course video. Today we're looking at the SC-set group by rule macro. So my name is Nate Carpenter, and I'm the Scriptcase instructor leading this course. So let's get started and look at what this macro does. So let me go to the next slide here. So this macro dynamically changes a grid's group by. So we can define different rules, and then we can reference those rules to change between different static group bys. So let's go ahead and look at the documentation for this. Here it is, pretty simple, changes it in execution time, and it's only on the on application init of a chart or grid application. And here's an example of how to use it. So we just SC-set group by rule equals the rule ID. So we'll look at how to get that rule ID here in a second. So here I have a grid, just a basic grid here. I can go ahead and run this and show it to you, see how it works. This is from a payments table. So we have a few different fields here, and we're going to group by these different fields: customer ID, payment, and staff ID, and then payment date and staff ID. So we're going to set up a couple different group by rules so we can do this. So we need to go to group by on the left, and we're going to go to static group by and then create a new group by here. So this first one, we can define our group by rules and then totals for this. So we need to assign the fields here for the group by. So I'm going to put a rental ID and then staff ID. So we'll determine who rented what, and then we can total those if we want as well. This isn't necessary. Now we could define a name for this, but if I click save, it'll automatically create a name here, and that is our ID. That is our group by rule ID right there, so that's what we're going to need. But before we can use this macro, we need to create another group by so we can switch between them. So this one we're going to start with payment date, I think, and so let me drag that field over here. We find payment date here and drag it over to the group by fields, and then staff ID. So this is grouping by when something was grouped, when something was rented, and who rented it at the time, and we're going to total by amount as well. And we could name it, but we're going to leave it and let Scriptcase name it automatically. So there is our ID for this group by rule as well. So now we need to go to the on application init event and put in our code to change the group by. But first let's run this so we can see these different group bys in action. So it's going to select one group by default here. So that's the rental ID, staff ID one. And then we can change it to the payment date staff ID one. So there we go. So this is what we want to do automatically. So we can do this on the on application init. Let's go ahead and copy this example from the documentation here, and then put it over in the events on application init right here. So there we go. And I just paste it in there. And then we just need to set it equal to our rule ID. So this one's set by default. So we need to change it to payment date staff ID. This is the non-default one, so that we can see that it actually changed. So let me type in that ID right there. And then we can go ahead and run this, and we should see it start with the payment date staff ID group by. So we run this, and there we go. So there's our payment date and staff ID group by set automatically. And then we can change it back to the other one using the group by settings. So that's how you use the SC-set group by rule macro to dynamically change an application's group by rule.